We're going to start on some Chesed days, the Mishnah. This Mishnah we had once before.
Before we started, for the Tanya at the menorah lighting. Okay.
See, it's better like that. I can add it up at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good morning. So we're starting a Mishnah. It says Hazav Shabbat Gasim B'Yirishon Matzutar B'Yemeshri Matzutar V'Shar Yom Shabin Time Loy Badka. Okay, we know that a man or a woman that's a Zav or a Zava needs to count 7 clean days. This Zav and Zava, they started off doing it correctly. They counted the first day. The first day was good. And then they got distracted for 6 middle days. And they counted again the 7th day. They did an examination and it was good. But they didn't do any of the days in the middle. So we're going to have a three-way machlokes. Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Eliezer says it's all good. The fact that she was good when you started the first day, she was good on the last day. We'll see which one is the main one. The first day, the last day. So she probably didn't see in the middle either. Rabbi Shua says very interesting. Says that look, she only counted 2 days. So she only has 2 days. Now she needs another 5. The days aren't in order, so there's a bit of a problem there, which Rabbi Eliezer is going to bring up to him. So, but that's Rabbi Shua's opinion. And we gave an explanation last time we learned this, but let's go further first. Rabbi Akiva says, 1 second. She didn't check herself on day 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's very possible that she's had blood then. Those are not clean days. And she really only counted her first day is from day 7. So she needs another 6 days. We have machlokes here, Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, and Rabbi Akiva, all of this students of Rabbi Ephraim and Zakkai, and we'll count Rabbi Akiva in there as well. Rabbi Ephraim and Zakkai is Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua, and Rabbi Akiva. Those 3 are arguing in this Mishnah. Rabbi Akiva is not counted as a student. He's counted as a student, but it would be Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua. Okay, Tanya was taught in a Bais. We start the Gemara. The Gemara quotes a Bais. Amalei Rabbi Eliezer, Rabbi Yeshua. Rabbi Eliezer says to Rabbi Yeshua. Now, Rabbi Eliezer says that they're all kosher. All the days are tar. Rabbi Yeshua says only the days that she counted are tar. So Rabbi Eliezer says to Rabbi Yeshua, Lidvarecha, according to your words, you're counting intervals. And the Torah says, Achar titar, achar achalakulan. There can be no tumah in between the 7 clean days. If you interrupt the 7 clean days with any tumah, then it's not counted. You have to start over. How is it possible, according to you, that you can count intervals? What are you thinking? If those days are tar, then they're tar. If those days are tameh, then you can't count the day before tameh days and add it to the day afterwards. It needs to be 1 consecutive, clean 7 days.
And that would be Rabbi Akiva's.
And Rabbi Akiva would hold that you only count
the first one.
The day 7 as the first one.
Right.
You only count day 7 as the first one. Rabbi Eliezer opinion is that it's all fine. They're all tar. So it's also consecutive. So Rabbi Eliezer has a good claim. Amalei Rabbi Yeshua says back, he says, and what about you? You think you don't have such a case either? You have cases where you count in intervals. For example, let's say there's someone that's a zav that needs 7 clean days. Now, if there's any ziva during those 7 clean days, they have to start over. But let's say a zav shara carry. It means that there was one of those days can't be counted. Now, Keri is just a shechva zera. That's a natural. That's not doesn't have the severity of ziva. Ziva is more serious. So, a Zavshara Keri doesn't count that one day that he has a Keri, that he has to share shechva zera. So you skip, and you count 8 days. You skip that one day. Rabbi Shua is telling Rabbi Lezer, granted, if there would have been real ziva here, you would have had to start over. But you also acknowledge that it's possible that it's in intervals. Why are you making such a big deal about me when I'm counting the first day and the last day as and it's not in order? You also have days, the times when you do, and it's not in order. So it's the same thing with the Nazir. Nazir has to count a certain amount of days that he's going to be a Nazir, and if he's Tameh, it doesn't go to his days that he's counting. And it's possible that a Nazir could have a certain sort of tumah midrabanan, a certain type of tumah, where he walks under certain types of canopies or rocks that are protruding from the wall. There may have been tumah under it. Those are tumas midrabanan. And we say that those days don't count to the 30 days that he would have been a Nazir. Okay, Rabbi Shua has quite a claim. Rabbi Lezer, why are you making such a big deal? You do the same thing. Rabbi Lezer would say the following. Over there it says L'tama ba. We have a special pasuk. It says, the pasuk says, I'm quoting the pasuk from Rashi, that this is the laws of the Zav, a man that comes out of him shechva zera. And the Gemara learns that just as Ziva breaks the 7 clean days, so too Keri should break the 7 clean days. The Gemara says, just as Ziva breaks it entirely, so should Keri break it entirely? It says no. L'tama ba. Ziva can create a tumah for 7 days, so it could break all 7 days. But Keri only creates a tumah for 1 day, so it only breaks 1 day. That's what the Gemara learns. So I have a special pasuk. It only breaks 1 day. The imisha machlufi. You're going to ask 1 second. Or maybe you'll get mixed up. And it should break it entirely. If a Keri breaks 1 day, you're going to say that maybe Ziva also only breaks 1 day, and you can continue. There's no Zavabal Keri like Mechlaf. Those things you don't get mixed up. That's so different. There's going to be no reason to mix that up. Okay, we do the same thing to Nazir Shelach al Gabi Schachos Price Nami. A Nazir that becomes Tameh because of these overhangs or protruding rocks that come out of a wall, and there may have been something Tameh buried under one of those rocks, and he went over there. It's a Tumah. It says Midiraisa Ayel Ma'al Yabinan. He's really not Tameh. Midiraisa, it has to be an actual tent that he's under, together with a corpse. And for Rabbanan Hudaгаzer, it's only a rabbinic decree. For Rabbanan B'daraisa Lai Mechab, we're not going to mix up a Rabbanan and Daraisa. Aval Hacha. But over here, Yichashina Del Machazai Besafik Asi Lachlutik Bevada. If you're suspecting that maybe if you're going to suspect over here that look, we're not going to count those days because could be she saw. According to Rabbi Yeshua. Yeshua says we're not going to count day 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 because we don't know what went on during those days. But we're going to count day 1 and day 7. Rabbi Les is saying, so maybe if she actually does see on day 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you're still going to count day 1 and 7. And that's a real problem. Because if she sees blood on day 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, any of those days, she has to start over and day 1 doesn't count. That's Rabbi Lezer's claim to Rabbi Yeshua, that you're going to mix it up with a possibility of a real seeing, The way we learned what is Taka the explanation for Rabbi Yeshua, we learned this when we learned where was this? Zion, we learned this Mishnah 2 months ago. The way we learned it was we said that Rabbi Yeshua holds that there's 2 dinim in Zion Akiyim. One is that you have to count, And the other one is that you have to do a checking. The counting worked. The checking didn't work. She was not really chayshish that you saw down. He just said you didn't do it. You didn't check, so you didn't get that day. But he's not. If he knows, Rabbi Lezer thinks that he's suspecting that maybe there was blood there, so you can't use that day. He's saying if there's blood there, so I can use the first day. He's saying that's not my concern. My concern is you didn't do the checking. He didn't actually say that though. But the whole conversation was all about these other things. Okay. Tani Reb Yosi Reb Shimon Amri. Take a look at this on the chart. So we had the Flakus, Reb Elazar, Reb Yeshua, and Reb Akiva. Now the Gemara says that Reb Yosi and Reb Shimon, take it down one generation, they both say Nirin Divrei Reb Elazar and Divrei Reb Yeshua. Reb Elazar is much more clear than Reb Yeshua. Reb Elazar says that it's considered 7 consecutive days, and she's tar, and that makes more sense than to say that maybe she saw in the middle. We can't count those days, or however you want to look at it.
Elazar was the one that said 1 and 7.
No, he said all 7 are good.
All 7.
Yeah.
But you only need to check 1 and 7, right?
Not need to. That's what he did.
Right. Right.
Any
Good the Evid. If you checked 1 and 7, it's going to be good. The next one is okay. Rabbi Akiva, but Rabbi Akiva makes the most sense out of all of them because he says you just count the last day, which that's so clear. That's the only one that you counted in order. Number 7, you counted in order. It was number 1.
I understand why it's good. I don't understand why it makes the most sense.
Well, you start now from 7. You start 6.
Because you don't know what happened on day 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Could be there was blood there.
Just a minute, I guess I'm thinking the obverse. What does Rabbi Eliezer say?
Eliezer says you checked on the first day, you checked on the 7th day.
And check, so he's interpolating between 1 and 7.
Saying that that's probably all good.
Right. And what does Rabbi Akiva say?
He says we don't know what happened,
right?
And it could be that there was blood during those days,
Right.
and so we're going to need to start from when we know it's good, which is the 7th. So Rabbi Akiva is the most sense. He says Aval halacha Rabbi Elazar, but nevertheless halacha like Rabbi Elazar. If you go back, remember we had a whole sugya about there's only 4 places that we paskin like Rabbi Elazar.
Was this one of them?
This is one of them. The Idach. Yeah, this is one of them. That's why we quoted this before. Here in Zion. Who was the one that says there's 4 places that we paskin like Rabbi Elazar? Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, Halachas Rabbi Elazar ba'arba. Wow. Okay. So 1 and 7. Ibaylo, there's a question. Azava Shabbat Klasim Yom Rishon Yom Shmini. What's wrong?
No, it's just that to me, this doesn't make sense.
Which one is the most?
Well, look, or you can say they both make sense. It makes sense to say if you see something on day 1 and day 7, the days 2 through 6 are going to be like that.
Right.
This is how we live our lives. It's called statistical sampling. You see something on days 1, 3, 5, and 7, you can assume that 2, 4, and 6 are the same.
Right.
We do that all the time. To say something, you see something on 7, it doesn't mean anything. But saying you don't believe in that approach or that sampling, you want to know every single day what's going on.
Right.
No, because that's
There's a logic to both.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I just
maybe you want to say is that because the Torah says that you have to count it. It's not considered counting if you just make it into a statistic. We want the real counting.
count the Omer.
Okay, yeah, we'll count the Omer that way. We'll count
5, 7.
1 in 49.
Yeah.
And the rest will just be included.
Yeah.
What about But that's all the sugyas in the Ayman. You see, because we have several countings in the Torah. We have counting the Shemitah years also in the Yovel, and some of them are made for the Bezdin to do, and some of them are made for the individual to do. And the Gemara has to learn out who's doing what, and it doesn't really mean a counting that you actually have to count each one, or does it just mean that it's sum total? So here, this is very interesting. He really only did an examination on the first day. And he checked again on the 8th day, or it's he or she checked on the 8th day, and it was clean, still clean. So the odds are still the same. The only thing is, it's out of the boundaries of 7. So the Rabbi Lezer Mahu. According to Rabbi Lezer, on top of page Samachtes, what's Samachtes Amaral? What's the halacha? Chilasan v'seifan beinan. You need the beginning and the end. But over here, you only have the beginning, you don't have the end. Or maybe the main point was the beginning. You can clarify what's the main point. Okay. This is the, I used to joke about it, tells a Chakira. It tells, it'd say that if you put sugar into a cup of tea, so you have to stir the sugar, and the tea becomes sweet. They said, so what's the main thing? Is it the stirring, or is it the putting the sugar in? So like, well, put the sugar in, but you don't stir it, it's not sweet. But if you stir it without putting the sugar in, it's also not sweet. So obviously, it's the putting in the sugar, because there's no. Maybe the sugar you put in is just to know how much to stir it. You have to know until it you come up with theories. But there actually is a depth to that. But anyway, so here, we know that there was a day 1 and day 7. There was a day 1 and day 7 in Rabbi Lezer's halacha. Question is, was day 7 critical to making this valid? Or was the day 1 the main one, and the 7 was just the last day to know that you should go to the mikveh? And the same thing would apply if it was day 8, or possibly. Okay, Amar Rav. So we're going to have here Machlekes Rav and Rav Chanina. Amar Rav, he. It is the same. Chilasan afabishain seifan. Means the same halacha. It's going to be tar. The main thing was day 1. If day 1 is tar, then you assume day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is all tar, and she's still tar. Rabbi Chanina Amar Tchilasan v'seifan binan. Hachat Tchilasan v'seifan leka. Rabbi Chanina says no. You didn't have the conclusion of this. You didn't see the end, the last day, if it was going to be good. Okay. Rashi speaks out that according to Rabbi Shua, this would definitely not be a question. I can't count 1 and 8 because those wouldn't combine. 1 and 7 could combine. 1 and 8 can't combine, so I would only have 8. It's not part of it. And according to Rabbi Akiva, you for sure would only have the 8th day. If it didn't work with 1 and 7, so it's not going to work with 1 and 8. 8 would be the. Okay, Meisvei. We're going to have 2 questions on Rav in this Gemara. This is the first one. Meisvei. They asked the question. They both agree. They both agree that if it's the 1st and the 8th day, that you only have the 8th day. Very clear. Rav is wrong. Because Rav said that it's going to work, that you'll have all 7 days there. The Gemara says, 1 second. My shavin, we're continuing the question. What does it mean they both agree? Lav Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shua, must be Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Shua both agree that it's going to work. The Gemara says, like that she'ein lem ela yom shmini bilvad, that they only have the 8th day, that it's not going through. They both agree that it doesn't work. So that's the opinion of Rabbi Chanina, and not Rav. The Gemara says, like, you got it wrong. When they said they both agree, it didn't say which both. Rabbi Lezer was not part of that both. Rabbi Lezer would say that it would work. They both agree that it doesn't work. That's Rabbi Shua of Rabbi Akiva. So Rabbi Shua and Rabbi Akiva agree that it doesn't work. Okay, that was an easy answer. Amar Rav Sheshes, Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba, Amar Rav. Rav Sheshes says in the name of Rabbi Yirmiyah Barabba and the name of Rav. Nidda Shefrisha Betara. If a Nidda did the Hefsek Tara, B'shlishi Shalah, on her third day of Nidda. Nidda is supposed to be 7 days. She doesn't need to count clean days. She can do it. She can do a Hefsek Tara on the last day and she's clean. But she happened to do it on her third day. Seifarta L'minyan Shiva Nekiyim. That third day could be counted to the 7 clean days. Now, there's a lot of problems with this. This is like the 2 dead boys got up to fight back to, it's like there's a lot of contradictions here when you read this. It starts off like this. It says Nidda Sfira Lamala. What are you talking about? That for the Nidda, the counting, the Hefsek Tara on the third day works for her counting of 7 clean. Nidda doesn't have 7 clean days. So what do you mean the counting? It's not a Nidda. It's a Zava. Zava does a Hefsek Tara on her third day, because 3 days she sees. Then she has 7 clean days. So the third day that she did the Hefsek Tara on is going to be counted as one of the 7 clean days. Rav paskins like the Kutim, like the Samaritans. It says that the day that you do the Hefsek Tara gets counted as day number 1. That was our issue before in Perek B'nai Kutim. We said that a girl, the Kuti girl, doesn't know how to do the counting because they count the day of the Hefsek Tara as day 1, and then all of their days they're always tummy. They can't figure those things out. That was the whole Perek we had. It's the 4th Perek. You can't count the day of the Hefsek Tara as day 1. It's always the day later. So the Gemara says, Kikam Rav Labar Mishlish. Rav meant excluding the third day. So it's the day after the third day. The Gemara says, Bar Mishlishi Pshita. So then what's he saying? That's the most obvious thing. That there's 3 days of Ziva, and then you have 7 days of Nakiyim. If you don't count that day, then it's all Pshita. It's like Tzricha. Actually, you probably hear this like. No. Tzricha, it's necessary. Rav's din is Kegoin. Like Badkat Shviyi. That she only did accounting until on the 7th day. She only did an examination on the 7th day. So what happened was she did a Hefsek Tara on the 3rd day, which is good. 3rd day is not counted as day 1. She did a Hefsek Tara on the 3rd day. Day 1 is going to be the following day. However, when it came to day 1, she forgot to do a Bedicha that morning. She didn't do any examination. She wasn't sure. She didn't do day. Yeah, she didn't do 1 through until 7. Right. So she did on day 7. We learned before. Rav said that if you count day 1, day 7 doesn't matter. That the 7th day works even if you didn't have day 1. I could have thought that only if you did day 1, so it's going to continue because it has a chazaka, the mi'ikara, the chazaka that she had before she established that she didn't see on the first day. So that chazaka would continue. That assumed status would be day 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But to say that it goes backwards, that because now chazaka the chazaka that right now she's clean, that would also take me back to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That I would say no, Kamash Malan, that I say that it does take me back. So we finish. There's a lot of things that are relevant to halacha and these sugis here. There's a lot of times that there's women that can't do all 7 bedikas for whatever reason, and there's lenient opinions that come out of these gemaras of what they can rely on, just the first and the seventh, or other things. It comes out of these sugyas. But that thing is not a halacha.
Yeah, we know.
Piyasa Ravin. We have another question on Rav coming up. When Ravin came, Amar, he said, Masav Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina Taya. This was a Gemara that we mentioned before. He says that Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina asked a question about Taya. Then I don't know what his question is. The Kaimalan, he said like this. Shavua kama da asila kaman balelusa matbalinla yamam le matbalinla. We had a lady that comes in front of the Bezdin or whatever. She said she gave birth. She doesn't know exactly when. She doesn't know if it was Yilad Bezoi. Doesn't know. So we said all the different times that she has to go to the mikveh to calculate her this mistake, that she doesn't know what her status is. So we said that she goes to the mikveh by night, but she doesn't go to the mikveh by day for the first week. We said how many times she's going to go to the mikveh. So why doesn't she go to the mikveh by day during the first week? Maybe she was a zava, and the zava goes to the mikveh during the day, and maybe she counted 7 clean days before, and today's the first and today she's supposed to go to the mikveh. She has to go by day. We say no. If she didn't count in front of us, it doesn't count. Those countings in front of us don't. But if, according to Rav says that you don't really need to count it, actually. It doesn't need to be counted, actually. It just, if it's assumed to be clean based on the last day, it was clean. So she should go to the mikveh by day as well. And it was considered as counted. Because according to Rab, we have these considered as counted as good enough. Rather, it must be based on that sugi over there that you have to count it in front of us. So what's Rab saying? That you can get away with just the last day counted, and that's going to be considered as the 6 days before were considered counted. The Gemara answers this question. What's the problem? That whole discussion there went according to Rabbi Akiva, who holds that you don't count any of the earlier days. You only count the last day. The Gemara says, and how do you know that the rabbis hold that you don't have to count it in front of us? It's only Rabbi Akiva that holds that. The Tanat, we're going to prove this. Actually, the Tanya, it's a Brisa. Okay. Take a deep breath. Get ready. Get your thumbs ready, Rabbi. No, this is a little bit more. Okay, it goes like a little. You have to think a drop. Taya she'amra Yomi echad tami reisi. A woman that has a mistake in her calculation. She says that she saw one day. So, what's going to happen here is matbalin said test tvila. He has to go to the mikveh 9 times. Zayin lenida, betray leziva. 7 for nida and 2 for ziva. This is going according to the opinion that says tvila bismana mitzvah. That every time she's supposed to use the mikveh, she's supposed to use the mikveh, and not just wait for the last day and go once for all of them. Because that's the other opinion. There is an opinion that says tvila bismana is not a mitzvah. But this opinion that says tvila bismana mitzvah. And if she's supposed to go to the mikveh tonight, she has to go to the mikveh tonight. If she's supposed to go to the mikveh tomorrow night, she can't push it off to tomorrow night. She has to go exactly on the time. Now, because she has doubts of when is her mikveh, so she has to go every possible doubt, which means she's going to be going 9 times. So the way it would work out would be like this. She comes by day. Let's say she comes on Sunday, whatever. So maybe she saw down. She said she saw blood one day. Maybe it was last week, Sunday. Tonight's the mikveh night. Last week, Monday would be. Okay, tonight's the night. That would be 7 days. So tonight's the mikveh. Okay, she goes. So Tuesday. It says, well, maybe she saw last week Tuesday. So or Wednesday. So every night she has to go to the mikveh because could be she saw 7 days ago. Those are possibilities. Then she also has to go twice during the day because maybe she's a zava. It goes like this. She has to go to the mikveh today because maybe the one day that she saw was yesterday and it was during her ziva. She only saw once. So today would cover that, yesterday's ziva. A zava has to go to the mikveh one day later. She's a shemeres yaim keneged yaim. A zava katana. But maybe she saw today before she came. And she said she saw once, so she would really need to go tomorrow. So there's 7 plus 2. 7 times at night, and 2 during the day, which is a total of 9. Let's say Ben Hashmashes. Let's just becomes Ben Hashmashes. Tamei Reisi. She's saying she saw Ben Hashmashes. She's coming Ben Hashmashes. Matpila Nasi Yud Aleph Tfilas. She has to go 11 times. Now it skipped one case. If she comes by night, she has to go 10 times. Mm-hmm. Why? Because she has to go tonight to the mikveh. Maybe it's the 7th day from before. She has to go. What's the extra time? And it could be she saw it tonight as well, so she has to go in a week later at night, which we didn't have if she came by day. Okay, so that adds one extra one. That gives extra. That would be 10.
So,
but if she's, yeah.
Okay, so
it's 7 plus 2.
7 plus.
So now it's 8 plus 2.
Right now, if she comes by night, I add in, besides going to the mikveh tonight, she also has to go to the mikveh next week, the last night as well, the night after, because it could be, well, let's first take the case that she came mamash at night, so then I have to get one more tvila in there, because if she sees at night, that's considered as the first of the 7 days. We'd have to go, that last one at the end would be the 10th one. Now it says if she comes bein hashmashes, she has to go 11 times. So it really can't get any worse than 10. Where's the 11? If it's by day, it was 9. If it's at night, you add an extra one. How is it 11? So it says Yud Aleph Tfilas. It says Yud Aleph Ma'av V'Taya. How do you get that 11th one? I'm Rabbi Yomi Difti. Ben Shabbos Lefnei Ben Hashmashes. Rabbi Tamlin and Nidda Daf Ziva. There's an extra one for Ziva. The reason is like this. This is interesting.
Is it Tamni 8 Lenida?
Yeah. But that we had if there was 10 as well.
I got it. So that was it. But she's adding up.
Now there's an extra one for Ziva. Goes like this. So,
yeah, Rashi.
So she says, she goes to the mikveh right away, Ben Hashmashes, because maybe it's still day. And she saw yesterday.
It's night and it's Shabbos.
So she wants to go by day to catch today's tvila for Zava. And maybe she saw yesterday. And maybe she saw now, and so she goes to the mikveh tomorrow as well, because maybe yesterday's been, maybe she saw right when she came, and that was yesterday. So today she can go to the mikveh because Ben Hashmashes is a suffix. Maybe when she came, it was the day part of Ben Hashmashes, so she can go to the mikveh tomorrow. And I have one other possibility. maybe when she came Ben Hashmashis, she saw, and that was really tomorrow, because Ben Hashmashis is really night. So really, she can't go to the mikveh tomorrow. She has to go to the mikveh the day later, because that night is already counted as the day. So as the following day. So she has one extra tefillah now for that. Follow? So there's 3 tefillahs there for Zayf. Let me explain. 3 tefillahs for Zayf. One is right when she comes, because it could be that she saw right before she came. It could be that she saw yesterday, and when she comes now, it's Bein Hashmashos, but Bein Hashmashos is still day, so she goes to the mikveh. She has to go to the mikveh tomorrow, because it could be she saw it before she came, and that was by day, and so therefore tomorrow would be the day that she goes to the mikveh. Or it could be she has to go not tomorrow, but the day later, because it could be that when she saw Bein Hashmashos was already the night. What's the problem?
No, they need a
The chart? So 1, 2. What are the circles? Indicate possible nidda. Okay, so yeah. So what we're looking about is the ziva is the square. So it's possible that she saw Bein Hashmashos. You see that on 8,
And then you see the white squares. You see.
so that's at night. The dark one is the night, and the 2 is the.
And then
is
you
the
see 3 to the next day, because you had to skip the day because it was Ben Hashmashos, so that next day was already today.
Yeah, so pass it over here so I can show you. So what we're looking at here is all of the circles is clear. That's 8 times she goes to the mikveh for Nidda. What we're looking at here is that one, that box, that square one, yeah, that is right by Bein Hashmashos. It's coming from the day to the night. That half is the night. That shaded area is the night. So what's going to happen is it could be that it was by day, that she saw blood by day, and now she has to go to the. Could be she saw blood by day. She goes to the mikveh right away, because could be she saw the blood yesterday. We don't know if she saw it. She's here now. She came right now. So if she goes to the mikveh right now, could be she'll cover today's mikveh because it's still day. Then could be that she saw the blood and it was still during this day, so she goes to the mikveh tomorrow because the blood that she saw when she came was yesterday, and so she goes to the mikveh here. But it could be that the blood that she saw right when she came was already nightfall, so then she goes to the mikveh over here. Because nightfall would mean that whole day was tamei, so she has to go the third time. Okay. So, Loiri isi kolikar. Well, let's say she says, I didn't see anything at all. Then Matlina is a test of tefillah, she has to go to the mikveh 15 times. Amar Rava says, Hai dina d'lei dina, daini b'galchi. Now, I don't know anything about galchi, but it sounds like Rava didn't appreciate them. He says this is the type of judgment that's not a judgment that they do in galchi.
Or is that a gala?
I don't know.
Where they shave.
It says the Isli Tura Lirichad Yema. Apparently, everyone had animals, and the way they would do this would be that everyone would take their day to watch the animals.
It's fine. There's a balance.
Oh, okay. So one day it was the responsibility of each person. They would take turns. It would be a rasta. Anyone that had an ox would have to watch the animals for one day. The less later, if you didn't have any animals, literally treyem, then you had to watch them for 2 days. So Isrami La Yasma Bar Malta, there was this orphan girl, was the daughter of a widow. Yasma is an Aramaic for Yasim, or is it a female?
Just an orphan. Yeah.
An orphan. It's an orphan boy, a male.
Son,
Yeah.
son of a-
Yeah, Yas. It would have been, I guess, Yas Masa or something. Okay, Yasma Bar Malta. There was an orphan that was the son of a widow. Yaval Aturi. They gave him the oxen. Azal Nachsinu. He went and he shechted all of them. Amalahu, and then he tells them, this lutur lishkal chad. If you had one ox here, if you had an ox in here, then you can take only one of the hides. Mashcha, chad mashcha, one hide. The less lutura, if you didn't have any ox, then lishkal trei mashki, then you can take two. So Amrilei, my hide the comment. What are you saying? Zamala safetina ketchilastina. The end of the judgment is like the beginning of the judgment. Tchilastina, the beginning of the judgment. Lav mandalesle, someone that doesn't have adif was better. So safetina nami mandalesle adif. Also at the end, someone that if you don't have the animals, then you get to take more. Just like you were giving him to watch more if you didn't have any animals in this. So at the end, you should take more.
Seem to be nice people. He shechted all their animals. They did nothing. Nice people. Taking them in a hot
Hachanami, you have to look this up. What in the commentaries on Nagata, there must be some referring to some spiritual things. Hachanami, Uma Hecha da Amra Reisi, Sagile Betesha Tfilis, Ibiyad Aleph Tfilis. This is what's going on. If a woman sees blood, she has to go to the mikveh 9 times or 11 times. Hecha da Kamra Yulay Reisi, but if she says I didn't see, by Chamisha Esri Tfilis, she needs to go 15 times. How does that work?
That the story with Ursula with my dad and Eily. The fish that it's a whole fish.
I didn't know that. So it says Elaima. Rather, you have to read this different. Elaima hachi. Reisi beni de kamaris. It's not that she didn't see. She doesn't know how much she saw. Now we have a problem. And she also doesn't know. It may neither risi may ziva risi. Doesn't know if she saw Nidda or ziva. So matpil nice test of tefillas. She has to go to the mikveh 15 times. And the Gemara explains what's the 15. Also, like command be a mom. If she comes during the day, yavin l'shev l'nida. She has to go to the mikveh 7 different nights. 7 nights. Shave means 7. 7 for nida. Why? She has to go tonight. Maybe she saw 7 days ago. And tonight's the mikveh night. And the same with tomorrow. It goes through the whole week. She definitely didn't see when she was in front of us. Right? But it could be tonight's already clean from 7 days ago. So, and Vitamni Laziva. And she has to go 8 times for Ziva. So 8 times for Ziva. Why is it 8 times? Well, she would go today during the day. And then, but maybe today wasn't the 7th day. So then she would need to go the following 7 days. Right. Because maybe today was not counted and tomorrow starts the count. So it would be a total of 8. Also, but let's say she appears by night. And in other words, we find out about this issue by night. So Yavin Latamne Lenida. Then she gets 8 for the Nida. Why? Because she goes tonight plus the following 7 nights. The Shev Ziva, and she only has 7 for Ziva. The Gemara says, 1 second, how do you get any less for Ziva? She has to go tomorrow plus, we don't know if tomorrow was good. She has to go she has to go the full 8. Because tomorrow could be she saw right before she came tomorrow, or maybe today isn't counted as the first day. She came in the middle of the day. We didn't see the full counting of the day. So Ziva Tamni Boy, the Ziva needs 8 as well, so it's going to be a total of 16, not 15. Rather it's 7 for Nida and 8 for Ziva. The Gemara says, "Belelusa Tamni Lenida Boy." But with Nida, you said you need 8. And you can't detract from the Ziva. So it says, Ziva de Psikalei, the Laishana Kiasa Kaman Biamama Laishna Kiasa Kaman Balela Chashavla. By Ziva, it counts 8. Because it doesn't matter if she comes by day, if she comes by night. She has to go to the mikveh 8 times by day, which is the first day that she comes, plus another 7 days. Nidda like psikala, but by Nidda it depends. If she comes by day, she goes 7. If she comes by night, she goes 8. Chiaskman balus by tamni. Be a mama like a by tamni. So like a chashavla. She comes by day, she doesn't need 8. So that's why by the Nidda it only counts 7, which is definite. And also it only counts the ones that are definite. So that's why it's at 15. All of this was all to tell us one point. That Rabbi Akiva holds that the Be'inan Sfurim Lefanenu, that you have to count the 7 clean days in front of us. And the Rabbanan don't hold that. And if you would say that you need to count in front of us, why did she go to the mikveh? Why all of these times? Let's watch her do the counting and go to the mikveh. She didn't do the counting properly. It must be that the rabbis hold, this is the rabbis, and they don't hold that you have to do the counting in front of us. And all the days that she wasn't here is calculated as part of the counting, and it's going to add up. Amalei Ravacha Breder of Yosef Ravashi. Ravacha Breder of Yosef says to Ravashi, Lav Tirutzi Kamataitinana, did we not have to resolve problems with this Raisa? Taretz Vei Mahachi. You can answer it like this. Once you're resolving issues, we said that it wasn't so clear. You add into it that I counted and I don't know how much I counted. That means she did a real counting. Right. You were saying that she doesn't need to do the counting and we'll just use the day that she's here to add it up to all the other days. Says no, she actually imbi may need the safarti may ziva safarti. And then matbilina naisa tesva of tvilas. The Gemara says safarti ve'ena yedea kamasifarti chad yaima mia iafshed delay safra. If that's the case, then she would have had to have counted one day, and then chasr latvila, and then we're going to be missing one of the mikvahs here. In other words, the last day, she's not going to need to go to the mikvah because we'll know that she counted at least one day. And if that one day could be used, then it's going to cover up. It's going to cover. We were counting all the days in front of us, but she must have counted one day because if she says she counted, she doesn't know how much. There has to be one. It says, you could resolve it in saying, I counted, but I don't know how many days, and I'm not even sure if I counted. Oh, so you're not even sure if you counted, then we get back that day, and then it's all going to fit in.
Excuse me. So we started out with 3 opinions.
3 opinions.
Full discussion.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I think that was Yeshua and Rabbi Akiva.
Right.
Who's been eliminated, if anyone? Has Rabbi Akiva been his opinion?
We in according to the halacha or according to these questions that we've been asking?
According to what we've just read.
According to what we read, we claim that this whole discussion was going according to the Rabbanan, not according to Rabbi Akiva. Right. So it doesn't eliminate him. It's just saying we're following the other opinion. We're trying to prove that the Rabbanan hold that Leibin and Tzfirn Lefanenu. The only one that was possibly eliminated is Rab Chanina. He said that you need to be, according to Rabbi Eliezer, you need the beginning and the end. We seem to have said that the end would be enough. Or maybe not. Maybe he wasn't eliminated either.
And by the way, what is the halacha?
Is it Rav or Rab Chanina?
What is the halacha? Yeah.
It looks like the halacha is like Rav. But it's not so clear. Actually, in the Shulchan Aruch,
yeah, he just, that's what we're all responding to.
Oh, wow.
From the way the letters are put, it looks like they're poskening like Rav. But in the Shulchan Aruch, it doesn't really work like that. In the Shulchan Aruch, you need to have the first and the second.
Have 1 and 7.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it. Oh.
Okay, shkaya.
Have a good day.